There was a man who was on his deathbed. He had been a politician, not in any major position, but he was a political figure. And in the course of his work, he realized how he established many enemies, people who misunderstood his intentions, misunderstood his proposals, and many people became enemies of him. They judged him. He said to the priest who was hearing his confession, afterwards he said, "I'm so happy that I will not be judged by my fellow men, but by God." And how true that is, that God is infinitely merciful, as we read in the first reading from Daniel, the prophet. He's infinitely merciful, and we can call upon him for that infinite grace day in and day out. So much does he love us. But all that he asks in return, as we read in the gospel today, is that we forgive one another. And sometimes that's so very difficult. It can even be in small things. Somebody doesn't show up for an appointment that we had, and we get upset. Or an airplane pilot disturbs my sermon. He doesn't know he's doing it, though, so I guess I have to forgive him, right? But I think, the point is that, like in the gospel, this man owed so much money to his master, and he just pleaded with him, and the master not only forgave him, but forgave the whole debt, just wrote it off. And that's what God does to us. He wants to just write off the debt of our sins. And yet when this man, a fellow person, comes along who owes him just a fraction of what he owed the master, he beats him up and puts him in prison. It's not right, is it? We have to forgive as we have been forgiven. We don't understand how serious sin is and how much we need forgiveness because we don't fully understand the goodness of God. We can imagine it, but we can't fully comprehend it. And here this man, just owed a small amount and his master wouldn't forgive him. So in other words, the Lord is very willing to forgive us, but on the condition that we forgive others. It's not easy, but it's what God would do, and so it's what we must do. If we fail to forgive somebody, it eats us up inside. We're allowing the hurt that we've received in one way or another to keep getting to us and getting to us. And if we just let it go, we can stop the hurt and be at peace. And so let us be forgiving as God is forgiving. Let us stand and offer our prayers and petitions.